In this video guys, I'd like to speak about the absolute beast that is Seishiro Nagi. Now on the surface level, Nagi is a really cool character in his own right. He does get a fair amount of praise, but I don't think people actually acknowledge how insane this guy is. Nagi, unlike the other characters in this show, has only been playing football 6 months prior to the start of Bluelock.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I mean, can you even begin to understand how insane that is? This guy who had no prior experience with football is able to play with some of the best players in the country. Persons who would have been training since they were kids and put years worth of grueling training, and this guy is out here in the big leagues in a matter of months. I mean, it's just like unreal. Nagi's backstory basically begins with him meeting Ryo at their high school. Ryo accidentally bumps into Nagi's back, making him drop his phone. Instinctively, Nagi springs into the air and traps his phone with some crazy momentum. Seeing Nagi's skills, Ryo asks him if he's a part of the school's football club. Just like me at the time, Ryo is absolutely shocked at hearing that Nagi has never played football in his entire life. Can you imagine this guy is just walking around with all that untapped potential? Ryo had found his dream in meeting someone so talented in football without the help of training, because Ryo himself had dreams of becoming pro before he saw Nagi, but he just didn't think it was realistic. But after meeting him, he saw that he was going to be his means to become a high-ranking player. Because of this, Ryo regarded Nagi as his own personal gem. Nagi is basically then invited to play football with Ryo. In return for playing with him though, Nagi asks Ryo for money. Ryo agrees and it basically starts off both their football careers. Now back to Nagi. Kuan, the sellout of Team Z, is discussing the next game to Zantetsu, Ryo and Nagi. Kuan asks the trio if they are interested in basically cheating for the next match. They immediately reject his offer without even thinking. Ryo basically believes that he can win against Team Z with just their talents, and then Ryo then tells Kuan that he can't stand lame and spineless people like Kuan. Nagi then says that he's tired and bored and wants to go back to the room. Nagi then asks Ryo for a piggyback ride and both of them head off. Nagi is totally confused as to why Kuan was so desperate, and it's just so crazy to me that Nagi is so good that he can't comprehend the idea of struggle. Like, he is literally shocked at why someone would try so hard. And I mean, are we literally understanding that this guy doesn't understand why people try so hard? Ryo basically tells Nagi that it's because he wants to win, and then Nagi says to Kuan that weak guys like you are just basically a hassle. Nagi then adds that if he was Kuan, he'd just quit football already, and the worst part about this entire statement is that he wasn't even joking. Like, Nagi wasn't trying to be a villain or with any bad intent. He just doesn't believe in hard work, and luckily this is something that I've seen change in him over time. But I mean guys, I still cannot get over how blatant this guy is. The match between Team V and Team Z starts. Team Z starts off giving Team V a decent battle, which comes off as a surprise to Team Z. After seeing Team Z's passionate plays, Ryo tells Nagi to do it. Nagi is basically annoyed out of his mind, but he still agrees, and out of nowhere, Ryo kicks the ball, making the ball spin pretty fast. Seeing Ryo's super kick, Isagi thinks that Nagi won't be able to trap the ball and stop it from moving, but Nagi traps the ball effortlessly after stopping the ball's momentum. Nagi then kicks the ball and easily scores a goal. And Isagi, seeing this, describes Nagi as a monster. Ryo is amazed at Nagi's goal, telling him that exactly how he imagined it. Nagi then asks Ryo if he can slack off now, and Ryo says nope, he needs to score some more goals. Isagi is awestruck by Nagi's strike, wondering if it was just a fluke. After seeing Nagi's weapon, Isagi comes to understand why he's the highest ranked player in that area. Ryo steals the ball again and kicks it towards Nagi. Nagi was able to trap the ball once again, and Igagaru is shocked to see how easily Nagi stopped the ball's momentum. Nagi then kicks the ball towards the goal, scoring again effortlessly, and Isagi starts losing hope. Team V starts to relax, knowing that they're in the lead by 3 points. Nagi asks Ryo how many goals he has to score to start slacking off, and Ryo, seeing that Team Z is frustrated, starts telling him that he thinks it's okay to just relax. Ryo remarks that Team Z looks broken, just like all the other teams that they fought, but they notice that Bachira is smiling and wonder why he isn't feeling defeated yet. Now I won't go into Bachira's amazing playing in the game, but pretty much Bachira helped ignite the fighting spirit in Team Z, and that helped to get the match going again. So knowing that he still has to play, Nagi is absolutely annoyed. Now the game resumes again, and eventually Nagi gets a pass from Zantetsu. Nagi receives the ball, and bear in mind, Nagi has his back turned to the goal, so no one thought that he'd be able to score it immediately. So Nagi pretty much has a convo with our protagonist Isagi, where he basically tells him he's a waste of time and that he tries way too hard. He was like, listen, if I was you, I'd just give up.
Emotional damage!
But something about this convo strikes a nerve in Isagi, and Nagi actually ends up giving Isagi a killer idea. But again, this is a Nagi video, so we're gonna go back to why I think Nagi is super underrated. Nagi is then absolutely confused as to why Isagi just won't give up. Unlike everyone else that they've played, Isagi's team is still fighting the inevitable. Nagi ends up pissing off Isagi even more, and he uses this fuel to start turning the game around. Team Z come up with a new playstyle to counter Team V, and Ryo, noticing this new style, goes into panic mode. And when Nagi turns around and sees Ryo's face, it's like a bomb sets off inside him.
Pause.
Prior to this, Nagi has never put any effort into his plays. He doesn't come up with any ideas, he takes no initiative. But after seeing the look of demise on his friend's face, he's seeing that his friend's dream is about to get crushed. Nagi does something that nobody expects. He actually moves on his own. Nagi gets the ball and says he'll try. Can you believe this? I mean, the entire time this dude has been playing, he hasn't even been trying. It's now when we start to really understand the true genius of Nagi. He's been crushing people's career this whole time and he didn't care. And it's like when he's faced with an actual challenge for the first time, he's like, wow, football is kind of fun. So you mean to tell me that this guy has been eliminating people, crushing dreams, just ending everyone's career, and he didn't care? And he just decides on a whim. This is probably the biggest insult to anyone ever. He has his newfound motivation, and Nagi is an absolute beast on the pitch. Team Z does end up putting up a good fight against him, but he still manages to press them on and do some of the most crazy tricks I've ever seen. And then right as Nagi's about to end the match, one of Team Z's players, Juan, fouls him. And I won't lie to you, this play pretty much cost them the match, because no matter how you look on it, if Juan didn't foul Nagi, Nagi's team would have won. Nagi would have definitely got that shot for sure. But you know, plot. Anywho, Isagi ends up scoring the last goal and beating Nagi's team. But Nagi has already been awakened. After that tragic loss, we see a new set of Nagi. Nagi wants to grow and learn. So during the second selection, he tries to get Isagi on his team with Ryo. Isagi doesn't want to leave Bachira behind though, so he turns it down. But without an ounce of hesitation, Nagi just says, okay, I'll join your team, and literally abandons Ryo.
Emotional damage!
Now to be fair, I don't fully understand the relationship between Ryo and Nagi. Sometimes it feels like a brother type of vibe, other times it seems like Ryo is a little bit obsessed, and maybe even sometimes it feels like they're best friends. But all I know is he literally threw all that away because he felt like he needed to grow. And to be fair, he did tell Ryo they'd meet again. But this guy just wants to get better and learn from the person who inspired him. And throughout the anime, we see Nagi growing faster and faster in some really tight spots. I honestly think Nagi is probably the most talented player in Bluelock. I think it's his mindset that holds him back. And trust me, I'd be afraid of a Nagi with an Isagi mindset. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever live up to the full potential because I think he'll always be limited to his thoughts. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which character do you think is the most underrated?